So I would, but I really think that 14 cats is just too many.
I mean,
so today on the podcast, we have Dandy with us. Dandy, I have followed you on TikTok for probably over a year now, under Deviant Kreations. I don't know how we connected or what happened, but all I know is you keep showing up in my feed, and I keep being impressed by the videos you put together. So thank you so much for taking some time to talk to me.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy to be here.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would describe your business as a illustration business that is focused on LGBTQ themes, potentially?
Yes.
Okay.
yeah, we are a neurodivergent and queer-owned art business, and yeah, we do illustrations, graphic design, a little bit of everything.
So one thing I'm really curious about compared to myself is, with me, my art business, Chain Assembly, is just me. How do you structure the we of it?
Yeah, so I initially started the business back in 2020. My boyfriend joined on about 2 years ago, and so he has been adding his own art to our collection that we sell, and he also helps run our storefront and helps with our social media and a lot of the back-end stuff that we have to do.
So with the illustrations that you offer products based on, do you specify who created what, or is it all just generally under the name Deviant Kreations?
Right now, yeah, we do it as the umbrella Deviant Kreations. His own art we also tag as Apollonian Art. That's his artist brand, I guess you could say. So we do credit his works under that as well.
Okay, so there's a secondary business then that you like cross promote with, or no?
It's not really a secondary business. It's more so, I guess, just his art handle that we kind of cross promote with.
Okay.
But yeah, we're just operating as one business.
Do you find it difficult to do that cross promotion? Is it easy, or I don't know, kind of how do you approach that?
Yeah, so it's not super complicated. Usually when I will be featuring posts on social media about his work, I'll add his social media handle on the page, and then he's got his own branded for like jewelry. He's got his own branded jewelry cards that also link to both the Deviant Kreations and to his own platform as well. So yeah, we just kind of do like a little bit of tagging here and there with it.
So like when I first started, I tended to create a like a separate Kickstarter page, a separate Facebook page for each one of my main products.
Oh, interesting.
And asked people to kind of follow those main, because my main products are like tarot decks, so I'll have like 3 or 4 a year, so
okay.
It ends up being like 10 different things at this point. And I quickly realized that was a huge waste of time asking people to follow a whole new page when it just made more sense to have those products messaging all occur into the one main page. So
sure.
I can say from my side, it is a hassle. Like So like, for example, every week when I post about this podcast, I post it under the Art for Profit's Sake Facebook page, and very few people like that page. Way more people like my general Chain Assembly page. So I'm starting to post it under there in addition, and I might just kind of kill the Facebook page for the podcast, which
that's fair.
I don't know if there's any benefit to that, but anyways. So I was just wondering about that. So let me ask you then about, since you do social media so much better than I do, which is such a general thing to say.
Well, thank you.
Like looking at your Instagram page, it has like mentions of events that you're going to be at, which I don't do. And then your TikTok is pretty well populated too, with regular updates. Do you dedicate like specific hours of the day to focus on social media, or is it just as things arise?
A bit of both. I try to curate some backlog content so I don't have to keep doing it day of, but more often than not, it will be day of. And with like TikTok, I've finally started posting on there again. I haven't in a long while, but for a lot of that, I'm either repurposing either from TikTok or from Reels on Instagram, and I'll just repost the video on my TikTok. But yeah, I try to post at least 3 to 4 times a week right now. Last year we had a social media manager, and they were like handling that a lot better than we were. But 3 to 4 seems manageable enough for us.
Okay. Can you tell me a bit about how you got a social media manager? What was that process like?
Yeah, it just kind of happened to work out. It was my friend Jade. They were also doing the social media for my local farmers market at the time. And then they left that job and were coming to help us run our storefront. And so they also offered to help with social media. So we kind of just figured that into a pay structure for them. And,
That's cool.
and then they were doing primarily Instagram and I believe posting to Facebook with like occasional TikTok videos here and there. So yeah, it just happened to be a friend who had some experience in it, offered their help.
Did you notice like identifiable financial bonuses from having that extra cook in the kitchen?
It took some time, but yeah, they had one video on Instagram that went relatively viral for us, and that gained us probably about 3,000 followers.
Wow.
And from that, we definitely saw an uptick in sales. Nothing super drastic, but more than the handful of sales we were getting online there before. So yeah, we definitely saw a bit of a initial uptick, and it's kind of teetered off with a handful of sales coming in passively that way.
Do you think the increase in sales you got offset the cost spent on having their assistance?
I think it came close. I think if we had had another couple quarters with them, I think we definitely would have started seeing more traction and growth. But honestly, the benefit of not having to come up with content ideas myself or to stick to posting consecutively was definitely a lot easier. It let me focus more so on like the creation of it and doing more events and stuff.
I know that's one thing we bring up a lot in this podcast is like, what are the items that you hate to do but can do? And for me, social media is a huge part of it. So that'd be like the first thing I offloaded was logistics.
Yeah.
And I would love to offload that too.
Yeah.
So I've never really spent the effort to find and price out like a part-time help or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I really ought to do it though. I enjoy keeping all my profit. So
I get that. Keeping your overhead low is definitely important.
So one thing that really stuck out to me on your website is the sticker of the month club. Can you tell me a bit about how that came to be and how that's working out for you?
Yeah, we've gotten a handful of subscriptions with that. It started as kind of our way to, we thought it would be fun just to have like a pack of stickers that we send out, kind of help people who maybe don't have, who get overwhelmed with choices. We have like over 150 sticker designs at this point, so it could be a nice little surprise just to get 3, 5, 10, however many stickers a month. And then people would also get the first, as soon as we got new stickers in, they would be the first ones to get those in their packs.
So I guess the majority of your business is sticker based, right?
A lot of it, yeah. Stickers are probably the product that we consistently sell every market or days that we're open in our brick and mortar, I would definitely say that we sell stickers more than any other product that we do.
When you have a new sticker design, do you have like a default amount that you're going to order at each time, or does it kind of change based on your excitement of the product?
It kind of changes. Lately, I've started to tease like upcoming sticker designs as on Instagram. I do like a mood of the week a lot, where I'll put the sticker file with kind of a funny or relatable watermark on it, and then yeah, kind of tease that those are coming soon. And we also did a kind of like a bracket style where we had our audience vote for which ones were their favorite to advance to the next round. And then based on the ones that are kind of leading is the ones we're going to be ordering. And then we kind of figure out, we have started, especially when we're doing like larger product releases, we start kind of with like a lower amount. We'll do like 25 of each to kind of test. And then once those sell, and if they sell all of them, really quickly, then we'll probably go up to at least 50, if not like 75. But yeah, we kind of start lower, test how it's going, and then order more accordingly.
Okay. Where do you do that engagement? Is that all through Instagram?
Primarily through Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, TikTok I am trying to post more consistently on there. But yeah, primarily through Instagram or even through email marketing.
Okay, cool. So when you're like posting a question to your audience, such as with the bracketing to see which sticker is going to win out, you get a lot of engagement in those, you see?
Decently. Yeah, the bracket ones were probably our best performing as far as engagement goes. We actually would have people commenting. I think we had them pick between like 5 designs, and we had people commenting their favorite 5, as well as like tagging their friends or sharing it. So yeah, we definitely had a lot more engagement on those posts. But yeah, it kind of, just when I feel like I've kind of gotten a groove with Instagram, then like the next post will flop. And so yeah, it's kind of always a back and forth of figuring out that.
I'm thinking about my own times on Instagram, which again, I rarely ever post on Instagram because I only really, in my mind, the person I'm marketing to is exactly like myself. And yeah. I never open up Instagram just to scroll. But I'm constantly opening up TikTok just to scroll. So like that's kind of where I put my focus. And TikTok, I find it very easy to engage with content. Anytime I post a video, I get a lot of comments in response to that video. But, like, again, something that a social media manager would be able to do for me is they would do the things that I don't want to do, like post to Instagram. But I do really like what you're saying about not just posting to have a post, but starting that dialogue with your followers. And I think that's pretty cool. And one thing I've learned, too, that kind of shocked me is, like, I always post these videos to YouTube, but I don't do any community management engagement or anything on YouTube, but I've got a crazy amount of subscribers there, and I don't even know how they find it, because I guess I don't know, it's just weird. Like I know there's an audience out there on YouTube that's somehow watching these or listening to these when there's no video, and I don't know how to communicate with them. But anyways, that's an issue for another time. So can you tell me a bit about your experience with different sticker manufacturers? Because I'm sure you've run through a bunch, have some you like, some you don't like. So what are your opinions on that?
Yeah, our go-to sticker manufacturer right now is Vinyl Disorder. They have been both like best in quality, turnaround, and price. And pretty much every time we order, they also throw in at least an extra 15 to 20 free stickers of each design that we order. Oh, wow. So, we'll order 25, but then we get 33 to 42 stickers. So it ends up being even cheaper overall. But yeah, they've been our go-to for the last 2 years. And right now I'm trying a company called Experiential Printing. They don't offer any like additional bulk discounts. They just like price their price at like the lowest bulk discount that you could get.
Oh wow.
Yeah, regardless of the amount that you do. So we're trying them out with magnets, and we ordered a few stickers as like a restock to kind of test out how their quality compares to Final Disorder and kind of seeing kind of where to go from there. But yeah, we've definitely tried everything from when I first started. There was a person on Instagram who just had I guess you could call it a cricket farm. They just had 12 crickets in their house and they were cutting all the stickers themselves. So we started with them, and then I've tried probably at least 6 different sticker manufacturers. And yeah, so far we've landed on Vinyl Disorder.
Cool. I don't do stickers as much as I used to, but I definitely want to check them out based on what you said. I've done sticker
they're
app.
really good.
I'm a fan of sticker app. Lots of options, and the quality's pretty good. I, like most people, started off with Sticker Mule. Their quality is really good with the stickers. Their hot sauce is really good, but I definitely can't support them anymore. I don't know if you saw the email that came out today.
Yeah, I've been seeing a few things from them. Yeah, we also started with Sticker Mule too, and as soon as we started learning more about their company and their values and stuff, we're like, okay, that's not someone we really want to partner with.
Yeah, but their hot sauce is really good, so I need to start find an alternative. So when it comes to that Sticker of the Month club, I guess this is also a good question in general. There's a lot of businesses that are sticker based. How are you shipping those? Is it just a forever stamp in a letter, or are you doing something more elaborate than that?
Yeah, right now our shipping is we have kind of these rigid 4x6 mailers, and we'll usually surround our stickers with some kind of thin like 4x6 backing cards, just to add some extra rigidity to it. But yeah, we have an option where people can have like track shipping, or just have like standard shipping, and that will be it's a label done through Shopify for those. And if they do the track shipping, then we go through Pirate Ship to so they have like a tracking code. But yeah, right now it's just those. We haven't had any that have done like any larger subscription ones that we couldn't just fit it in an envelope. But I think if we ever did like larger bundles, we would probably be shipping them out in boxes, and it'd be really cool to actually have like branded boxes. But I think that's kind of like we'll cross that bridge when we get enough sales to warrant it.
So with the Shopify side, is that a third-party app that manages the subscription, or do you process new orders each time?
It's a third-party app that we found. Yeah, the app lets you just create a subscription listing, and then it'll like auto-charge them. The customers kind of get a email where they can adjust if they want to pause, skip, cancel their delivery schedule, and then typically, like on the webpage, we say that like we ship it all at the end of the month, but right now we get like 1 or 2 subscriptions from that currently, so it's like I'll just drop them off on my way home. But yeah, so far it's been pretty good. As far as like the monthly fee, I think they take just a small portion of your sales that you get from it. They take like 1 or 2% from the active subscriptions.
Oh, okay. Like
it's not bad.
I love the amount of apps, third-party apps that are out there on Shopify, but almost every single one of them is way overpriced.
Oh yeah,
it's amazing. It's like, oh, this does everything I need. Oh, it's $60 a month. What?
$60 a month? Oh, this one's like $150 a month.
Woof.
Yeah, I love Shopify, but I hate how they kind of nickel and dime you with everything. Like we were looking into getting the POS Pro subscription.
Okay.
And it's not, you don't just get the subscription for your entire business. You have to do it for each location. And since we do pop-up markets and our brick and mortar, it would amount to $150 a month.
Wow.
Just so we could stack discounts in our POS. So it's not super worth it yet, but yeah, they definitely they can be expensive.
So for in-person sales, are you using Square or something else? Or you're
We
on
go
Shopify?
through Shopify for both.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
for online and in person.
I have been very curious about their POS system. They don't advertise it like super heavily, but as much like Square does. And I've been with Square for so long, but it is kind of redundant that I have products both on my Shopify and on my Square interface.
Okay, yeah.
So can you tell me, how happy are you with the Shopify POS?
Generally, I've been pretty happy. There are definitely some things that frustrate me. So like we offer kind of bulk pricing on all of our products. If people get 2 or more, they get a certain amount of discount off of that product. So with Shopify, with their base one, you can do one like order discount. And then you have to do all your other discounts as line one. So you have to go into each product that you're discounting and manually add all the discounts. So that can be very tedious and frustrating, especially if I'm at like a convention or something and I have 10 customers in a line and I have to go through and like tap to make sure I'm doing the math right and doing everything for it. So it'd definitely be nice if it had features that would let me keep adding, discounts to it.
I could tell you on the Square interface, there's discounts are kind of almost like products with negative prices on them.
Okay.
You can make them automatically happen, but I usually just select it as the item, and then it just gets added to the list of the order.
So you can actually add multiple discounts.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's nice.
Yeah, so that's kind of nice. Like I do these like little role-playing games that I make, and if they get 3, there's a discount. So when I add 3, I then just add that discount line item. Now, I know with Square you can also generate like little QR codes for each product, and then you could just scan it with your phone. But I haven't messed with that because I haven't really needed to.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Shopify, we have we had to get a third-party barcode app to like generate barcodes.
Oh, wow.
And that saved a lot of time once we did that.
Nice.
Because we could just put it on each one and scan all of our products, and that definitely sped up our checkout process.
Yeah, I imagine if you're at a market, you probably have a shit ton of stickers, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, especially because we do... our like pricing structure on stickers is at 3, 5, and 12 stickers. So, a few times people will get like the 12 sticker discount. And so I'm scanning 12 stickers, maybe like 3 postcards, a print, and like bookmarks or something for an order. So there will be around close to 20 items, and so if I had to like go through and either type in the name or go into like different collections on the POS, that would take a very long time.
And you're all doing that with a phone, right?
We have at our brick and mortar, we have one iPad, and then for the market I use my drawing tablet.
Okay.
I just kind of multi-purpose it to also be our actual POS there. So yeah, we do that, and then we have a barcode scanner at each location separate, so we can just do that.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so tell me a bit about your brick and mortar. I don't think I've had any artists on. I mean, I've had artists who have galleries, but none that would consider it like a brick and mortar shop. What's the story of that?
Yeah, so we, for about 1.5 years before we were in here, we were in a small business community. In Harrisonburg, we have a place called the Shops at Agora, and it is 9 businesses that share one roof. So we were initially there, and We were there for about a year and a half, and we started gaining more sales that way. But it became that we were kind of like in the back of the building, so we were also kind of overlooked. We didn't have a ton of wall space to actually put all of our original art up. So yeah, we just felt kind of like limited in the space, so we were looking into getting something larger, and we just happened to have one that opened up downtown with good window visibility. It's in a pretty well walked place of town, and it's also right in the heart of where all of the downtown events will be when we have like parades or we celebrate Pride, or when the students come back in town, they do like a downtown takeover where they kind of come down, see what downtown has to offer. So it just happened to work out in a good location, and we've been there for about a month and a half now, so not super long.
Cool. What's the footprint of the building, or of your space? Sorry.
Oh yeah. So what we currently have is about 700 square feet.
Wow.
I believe.
That's a good size.
So yeah, definitely, yeah, a pretty good amount. We had 330 in the community building space that we were in. So we effectively doubled our square footage with the move.
And what's the rent at that space, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, it is 1,500 a month. So it's a bit steeper than what we were paying initially. We were paying about $470 in the place we were in before. So yeah, a bit of an increase, but we don't have to pay any utilities on the space, just have to cover Wi-Fi and like security. So yeah.
Have you seen a market increase in sales from just walk-bys as a result of that space?
Yes and no. Right now, we are still trying to figure out marketing for the brick and mortar to help attract people inside of it more. But we do get people who will walk by and will see art and will like come inside. So I feel like we have been getting more visibility from people who haven't heard about our business before. They'll at least like pop in, take a look around, and they might come back. But we have had a fair bit of sales there already, and we're working on doing more community-based events to help bring people in more soon.
Cool. That's fun.
Yeah.
So when it comes to looking at your avenues of sales, what percentage would you say are brick and mortar sales? What percentage are market sales, like pop-up markets? And what percentage would you say are online?
Online is definitely our smallest revenue right now. And so yeah, I would definitely say between brick and mortar and pop-up are our primary sources of income. We also just opened up commissions again, so we're hoping to add that into the mix. But yeah, market, I would say, is our most profitable avenue. Usually beating out our brick and mortar by about $600 to $1,000 each month. It depends on the month, but yeah, markets are definitely our most profitable.
So you do a lot of those then. Is it always you, or is do you and your partner tag team them? How do you organize who's responsible for what on those?
I usually run the market and pop-ups. Yeah, my partner, he usually works the brick and mortar side. We both have some health issues, but my health issues don't necessarily impact me doing the market as much as they do him. So I've become the market face of us, I guess.
Okay. And so do you have ones that you return to, like that I guess your fans know to come visit you at, or is it always different? Yeah.
Yeah, we do at our local farmers market. We do our Tuesday and Saturday markets there every
Mhm.
week. So that is our most well-known place. Recently, we have started doing more conventions, and we actually got one coming up in uh, August. We have one coming up that we're returning to because we did it at the start of the year and it was pretty good.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, it really depends. Like even with the same promoter of a Comic Con we've done, one location did significantly better than the other location. Um, but yeah, we try to at least have our regular markets and then do at least 1 to 2 pop-up markets throughout the month, but it kind of depends on what's going on around.
So I could say where I am, I'm in Florida, so half the year there are no markets because it's too hot to be outside.
I believe
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
And I've done a Comic Con once, and sales were terrible because I don't have any
Okay.
recognizable characters. So,
Oh, yeah.
when you mentioned conventions, have they all been Comic Con, or are they, or like, sorry, comic book related conventions, or anime, or like, what are your experiences with those as a category?
Yeah. We've had uh, a couple Comic Cons that we've done. One of those did really well so far. The other, I think, broke
Mm,
even on at least, but it wasn't really worth the
yeah.
2 hour drive and hotel that we had to put into it. Um, so yeah, some of them have been good. We did a queer college conference that was in Kentucky last year, and that one went really well, and it was worth the drive up there, the cost of getting a hotel and everything. We still made a good profit from that. But yeah, then we've done some. We did a comic book that was hosted by the university near us, and that one had a really low table fee, but actually a really high amount of sales. So that one was definitely worthwhile. But yeah, we've had some that we didn't even make back the table fee on, and it was just kind of
Yeah.
a wash. Yeah.
When it comes to tracking, if at all, how successful individual events have been for you, what kind of factors do you look at? And do you have like a spreadsheet or anything to track all that?
Yeah, I have a spreadsheet where I will like list out each event that I go to. I'll list the table fee, the travel cost, food, lodging, as well as like what's included with the price that they do. So generally, I try to make at least 2 to 3 times the table feedback, and I consider that at least a
Hmm.
worthwhile convention to do. Um, so yeah, we shoot for that. If it does, say we have one that we did like 5 times the table fee at, it's like okay, that's definitely going to be on the top of our list to go back to next
Yeah.
year.
Are you ready to paint your own canvas in the real estate world as a homeowner? It's Leslie Haas from Realty One Group Sunshine, and I'm here to talk home equity, your masterpiece in the housing market. Imagine owning a piece of property that's not just a place to call yours, but also an investment opportunity. It's time to take that brush and start creating equity in your dream home. With interest rates on the verge of dropping, get ahead of the curve and secure your artistic haven before the next rush. Whether you're a first-time homebuyer or upgrading your studio, let's sketch out your home ownership dreams together. To learn more, visit tampabayhomesforsale.realestate.
I know I also have a spreadsheet where I track like the fees and then how much I've made. I track,
Hmm.
I don't know why I do this, but I track cash sales as well as card sales.
Okay.
And so based on that, I can see like, okay, here's one I'm not going to do again. And I kind of give myself the opportunity to like maybe no more than 5 times a year try an event I haven't done before, and I'll potentially get some good things that I want to add to the rotation. But as the years have gone on in my business, I've reduced the amount of events I'm attending and really just going to the ones that I know will be good. Just because, like, I mean, it's wonderful as a business owner to get like $2,000 in one weekend. You know, that's great.
Yeah.
But it's like, for me, I could say my biggest source of income is the Kickstarter projects. So I would much rather spend that time focusing on that. It's going to be like slower bits of work, but then I'm not only developing all the profit from the project itself, but I'm gaining all these eyes on my company who would have never found it otherwise, and I'm also gaining more product to sell regularly online.
Absolutely.
So outside of your website, do you sell like on Etsy or any other stores, Amazon?
I've gone back and forth with having an Etsy. It really depends on if I can find a good like third-party Shopify app that will actually sync my inventory and, you know, manage orders with it.
I have found one, but it's very expensive.
Yeah, I've seen a lot that are like $99 a month, which is hard to justify when you're like venturing into a new marketplace again.
Also, when you're selling stickers with such a low margin, so
yeah, they can definitely, you know, it's like, I have to sell 25 stickers to even break even on this. Am I going to make that in the first 6 months that I'm doing this venture?
Well, another issue too with the stickers, as far as like Etsy and Amazon are concerned, is like, I haven't sold on Amazon, but I know with Etsy you cannot become a star seller if you don't provide shipping. I mean, if you don't provide tracking for every item you ship, and then adding that to stickers makes them cost prohibitive for most people.
It can definitely do that. I thankfully another artist on TikTok actually shared their process of through Shopify how they got affordable like sticker shipping options where it's like only $1, maybe $1.25 to ship instead of the $3-4 that it can be. So that has thankfully helped cut down on shipping costs for stickers. If I have to provide tracking for them. So yeah, now that we have that figured out, we probably add Etsy again just so we can actually try to capitalize on that and at least get the first time sale from them, and then try to get them through our main website in the future.
So one thing I saw on your website, or maybe it was TikTok, I don't know, but one thing you do that I'm really impressed by is the backing boards for your stickers. That makes it look so classy.
Thank you. Yeah, it's helped a lot, honestly.
So tell me about that. How'd you come up with it? Does it change how you organize them? How do you affix them to the backing boards? All that.
Yeah, so to affix them, we just use some double-sided tape on the back of the stickers. And that usually holds them pretty well. We don't usually need a lot of it. And so we can easily just pop them on. And I just designed the backing cards after I saw another artist put their stickers on backing cards too, and I really liked how it looked. We don't do it for our market location because our current display doesn't really lend itself to holding the backing cards. But at least with our brick and mortar location, we just put them on the backing cards, attach one of those adhesive little plastic hooks to it, and then we can just put it on the pegboard.
So I use those related to that. Sorry, I do a lot of enamel pins, and I got my backing boards printed by Vistaprint just as business cards, dirt cheap. And for a while, I was printing the backing boards myself and using those adhesive things. But since I did the business cards, which are already pretty vertical, I went out and bought this guy, which is a hole punch that does that shape.
Oh, that's
so I just slip the card in, punch it, and I'm good to go. And that way, it looks a little nicer than the plastic hanging thingy. So I think this was like $15 on Amazon or something. I don't know.
That's not bad.
Yeah. But anyways.
Yeah, we'll probably do something similar to that with our when we run through our current batch of backing cards, I think we're gonna like redesign them some and make it so that there is actually a place where we can seamlessly like cut a hole through it. I think that would definitely be nice, and I think it'd take the same amount of time as putting the stickers on them.
So, can you tell me a bit about what your display looks like at the markets then, since you mentioned that the backing boards don't really work?
Yeah, so we use those like 12 by 12 grid shelving that you can get, and we just kind of built a large hollow rectangle out of it. And on each face we can fit 9 stickers. We got these this 12 by 12 inch card collector sleeve, but I guess it's kind of like a coin collector sleeve. And then we mounted it onto those, and we cut some easy access ports on it, and then we just have a little pocket that we can put all our stickers in. And that's worked out pretty well over the last couple years that we've done it. Lets us bring, I think I bring like 120 different designs with me to markets. So I can just have all of them on that thing. I can have each one hold about 10 stickers of each design, so it makes it a lot easier. And then I just attached a lazy Seuss into it, so I could have it spin and have people access it from usually on my market days. I can only really have 2 or 3 points of access on it based on how I'm set up, but it at least lets 3 different people look at the stickers.
Okay. And then for the stickers you have in the back, your extra inventory at a market, how are those organized?
So I actually don't bring any.
Oh, okay.
Unless it's like a convention, I don't really bring a lot of extra back inventory with me. Usually on a farmer's market, I might sell out of like 1 or 2 designs, but I'm not selling out of like enough where I feel I have to have a back stock. But yeah, usually with a back stock, I will either have these little 4x6 photo organizers where they're all like different colors, and I can fit 2 stickers in each of those. So I can usually fit a good amount of backup with me.
Okay. So what would you, I guess, can you describe what else would be going on in your market footprint? Do you have like banners? How many tables you got? What's the setup look like?
Yeah, it's a 10 by 10 space, and I currently do a 3 table U setup. Okay. And so I'll have like on one table, it'll have our stickers, our bumper stickers, our pins, reusable sticker books, and then like mystery products. And then one table will be fully dedicated to our 8.5 by 11 prints and our 12 by 18 prints. And then the third table will have more of our like misprints and discontinued prints that we'll sell at a discount, or our like pins. Yeah, so we'll kind of just spread them all out, and I have added height to them by I got some bedrizers from a local thrift store and just put a slab of wood on top of it, and that gives me an extra 12 inches of height that I can kind of work with.
Okay. When it comes to the U, are you inside the U or are you behind it, away from the customers?
I'm behind it. So I'll usually kind of have all of my business cards, thank you prints. I'll have art bags and everything there with me behind me. And it usually works unless there's a large group of people. It's kind of then hard when someone wants to look at the prints but someone else wants to check out. It's like I can't really easily navigate to them. But it's one of those I have to kind of make do with it because I don't have the space to necessarily go around or to help them another way. But yeah, generally I stand behind it. I'm a little bit more introverted at times, so it kind of gives me that, that bartender buffer
Yeah, I get that.
of space. Yeah.
I have this weird thing where I don't want people seeing my legs. So,
Yeah.
so I got the tablecloth and I hide behind the tablecloth. I don't know why I hate that. It's just, they're my legs.
Yeah, that's for me.
So tell me a bit about then your prints. Do you print those yourself, or are you also ordering those?
We also order those. Yeah, we actually used to manufacture all of our designs in-house, but we just had too many quality control issues, or, didn't have the funds to invest in like a really good printer at the time. So yeah, we opted to go through Cat Print to have our prints made. And we can have a much larger selection of thicknesses and finishings, and they also use they have really good like UV resistant steadfast archival inks that they use, so they hold up a lot better than anything we could do too.
And that's Cat Print, C-A-T?
Yeah, C-A-T. Print. They are a really, really good printing house. They even do like a featured artist of the month you can apply to be a part of, and they'll send with every order like a small print of a picked artist, and it'll give you kind of their story on the card. So I really appreciate that about them. Yeah.
So last year I bought myself Canon Image ProGraph 1000. It's a $1,200 printer, 17 by 22, and it's got...
Oh, wow. How's that working out for you?
It's got 12 different ink cartridges, and, well, they're all pigment-based, so it's all archival, too.
Okay.
And in the last month or so, I've fallen in love with Red River Paper. It's a paper manufacturer, and they have tons of different options, tons of different sizes, and I love that they also have printer profiles you can download too, and ICC color profiles for any kind of printer you have for any of their papers. So consistency has been so easy to get with their stuff. And I just recently started offering printing services for the artists in my neighborhood, because I'm part of like a neighborhood art community, and I started offering print services for people. And since I'm already a photographer, I photograph their paintings or whatever, clean them up on the computer, do the prints, but I'm also delivering them with backing boards and a sleeve and a thermal printed label.
Oh, that is so...
It's like a little pricier than if they got it from Shutterfly or something, but it's ready to sell. They don't have to do anything else on top of it.
Yeah.
So
that saves them so much
And I already
time.
had all the shit lying around because I already been buying all these sizes for myself. So
yeah,
it's been fun, like getting people to be able to sell their stuff at lower price points, or if they do small paintings, make them bigger. It's been a fun little adventure for me.
That is really cool.
And so if you do ever want to buy a big printer, I recommend it. It's expensive. Refilling those 12 cartridges is $800 in ink. But I mean, it's nice that you don't have to replace them all at once. Whenever one goes down, replace just that one color. But that's really freedom
nice.
To be able to just make a new print like an hour before an event is pretty fantastic.
Yeah, I think if we did manufacture things in house again, that would definitely be the one that we would do. It would just be so convenient to do that. We oftentimes will be sold out of a print, and then it's like, okay, well, we need to hold off a bit till we can actually place this order again. So then we'll just be out of that print, potentially missing sales at either of our locations because that one's out. So yeah, having a printer like that sounds really nice.
It's nice too that like I no longer have to ever worry about bulk discounts when it comes to prints. So I could just do one and call it a day.
That's nice.
So what would you say is like the next adventure for Deviant Kreations? Like what's the next big thing you're working on? Or are you just trying to like stay where you are but trim margins?
Definitely trying to trim margins. I think we're, as far as like our retail space goes, we're trying to delve into doing more community things, actually creating a a place where other local artists can sell their works and, venture into doing wholesale with other artists, as well as doing wholesale with our own products into other businesses. I think that's probably one of our biggest aspirations for, finishing out the year and going into next year. And then I think in addition to that, we are trying to delve into, we have some like larger projects that we want to do. Like I've kind of wanted to illustrate a children's book, or I've also kind of, going off on something that you do, I think making my own tarot deck sounds like a really fun but kind of daunting project to undertake.
Well, I would say cool. It felt daunting at first when I first did the first one. There's a lot of redundancy there. But it quickly, probably within the third card, it felt comfortable. Because I love creating templates and design rules, and once I have that in place, it's like just checking off a list, and it felt good to not have to worry about what to do and just know exactly what I need to do. So the thought of it was daunting, but the actual process was just delightful. Yeah.
That's reassuring. How has kickstarting and stuff gone for you with those?
Fantastic. So the most recent one I did is Tarocchi Gialli, which is inspired by 70s Italian horror films. So I made each card look like a movie poster. Thank you.
Cool. Okay.
And generally the way it's worked, this is kind of based on that, and like if I were to try to average everything together, let's say the Kickstarter raises $7,000. Which is pretty good. It's not the last one I did, I think, was like 7,200 for the Tarocchi Gialli. Most I've gotten, I think, was maybe 12. Least I've gotten was like 4. But so let's say averaging it $7,000 raised. The actual cost to print 500 decks is around like 3,500. And through Tarocchi Gialli, there were 176 decks claimed through the pledges. So plenty of profit and plenty of stuff left over for me to sell. So it is absolutely worth it. And not just for the financial thing, but like I mentioned before, I'm being exposed to thousands of people who would never find my brand anyways. I could do 1 million markets and I wouldn't get that many people who are like interested enough to actually give me money. So yeah. And then anytime someone searches for Italian horror tarot deck from now on, my thing is going to show up and there'll be a big link, because Kickstarter does tons of SEO. So my project will appear at the top of the search results, and there'll be a big button that takes them to my website where they can buy it. So
very cool.
A huge percentage of my orders on Shopify are from people who have found my old Kickstarter projects. So yeah, all great reasons to do it. So works well for me.
Seems like it. Are you like penalized if you don't reach your goal that you've set, or is it kind of like
that's a good question. So if you don't reach your funding goal, then nobody's cards get charged. So you don't get the money.
Okay.
That being said, most people have an artificially low goal, because the nature of it is people would not pledge to a project that does not look like it's going to get funded. So you want to get that funding goal hit within the first 48 hours, or else it's going to probably not get hit. I always try to picture it as, I've already spent this much time working on this thing. How much money do I have in my bank account that I can dedicate to this? And then I subtract that from my actual funding goal. So that worst case scenario, I can still get it made with this amount of money. Yeah, so it usually ends up me saying, like, I need $1,000 to hit this thing that's actually going to cost me like $3,500 or so. Yeah, so that's kind of what it looks like when I'm putting those together. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I've never actually like delved into crowdfunding in that way, so I'm always curious to see how it actually works for people.
I started off with enamel pins and coloring books, and I always recommend for artists that's a very easy place to begin. And I mean, I think your art would be beautiful as coloring books, and those would not be expensive to print either, so
Yeah, we actually had a coloring book a couple years ago. We just haven't ordered anymore lately. But yeah, it definitely wasn't super expensive to get at least a small batch of them made.
The manufacturer I've been using recently for a lot of my printing stuff, but especially coloring books, is mixam.com.
Oh, I use them too.
Great prices, great quality.
Yeah.
Wonderful customer support.
Yeah.
Right, so for anyone who wants to follow your work or follow you around, you're at deviantkreations.com. That's creation spelled with a K. And you're on Instagram. You're on Instagram and TikTok as at DEVKREA. Is that right?
Yep, that's
anything
us.
else you want to
That's
leave
us,
us with?
yeah. No, I think for anyone listening who might be starting out, go for it. Start small and keep at it. And over time, it will definitely become, I think, one of your most fulfilling ventures you've done.
Yeah, it's funny. It feels like, first couple markets, you'll make no money. Then you'll make one where you make so much money. And you're like, oh, I'm hooked now. And...
oh, yeah. It's definitely like chasing a high for a lot of it. The lows can be very, very hard, but the highs are very rewarding when they happen too.
Yeah, you just come home with like a swollen pocket and you're like, let's order food.
Yeah, let's order food. We're splurging tonight.
And it's funny too how like you'll learn what works, what doesn't work, and you can't always pinpoint exactly what it is, but you develop an intuition for like that box should be on the right because more people will buy from it, kind of a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll see how like customers are interacting with your booth, with your products, and if you just kind of like listen to what people are talking about, even without directly talking to you, they'll tell you what they like and what they don't like about products just by what they tell their friends. And yeah, we have that's how we actually like started a lot of our different series that we've done, or like stickers that we've done, is once I've heard like 10 people at a market like comment like, oh, I wish they had like this particular animal as a sticker. I'm like, all right, I'm making a note of that. That's a decent sample size to go off of.
All right, well, thank you so much, Dandy. It was wonderful chatting with you.
Absolutely. It was great talking with
you
as well.
Day. Art for Profit's Sake is recorded through Riverside FM, distributed through Spotify for podcasters, and edited on Adobe Audition. The music is provided by Old Romans. If you learned anything useful or found this podcast helpful, please rate and review us 5 stars. If you want to learn more about me or my art, head over to chainassembly.com.